So, hello everyone. I have a pretty special video going on right now. I'm making it. Um, I got worried for a sec, but essentially, I was looking through Dropbox. Like scrolling through all my video files, and I found this one folder. It was from a folder that I had worked on with some friends a while ago. It's the same people from the survivaling Minecraft videos that I used to do. Well, I say used to, but it was like 2 or 3 episodes. And essentially, we would write these short little stories for what we called Clam Comics, which is basically just like, oh, they got DC Comics, Dark Horse Comics, Marvel Comics, and then we'll just make our own. So we had Clam Comics, and there was one story that I was very, very proud of. It was called Superworm, and that was actually, see right there, Superworm was actually my first Minecraft name, Superworm123, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I wrote this, I would say, so I was still back at still back at Oakwoods. This was like 5th or 6th grade when I almost finished it. It was supposed to be a 4-part series, but I only got to the second part. I didn't get to the third part, which was going to be the big bad. So, but anyways, I will actually talk about the story first, and then I'll give the backstory to him according to my 5th grade self. So, it begins. One time, in the dirt, many millennia ago, on a farm there was a hero. An earthworm, to be exact. He protected his town known as Tulip. He was a worm with supernatural powers, flying faster than a falling leaf, and slithers faster than a snake, and has heat vision better than the hero Superman, and was a descendant of the mad scientist. He is a great hero indeed. One day he got a call from the nearby town of Squash. They said they have been raided of their squash blossoms. The whole garden knows Squash has the greatest squash blossoms. So Superworm went right to it. The first suspect was Nick the Snail. He has a very long background of being a criminal, but he couldn't have done it because he is so slow. But he asked him anyways. Where were you the time when the crime was committed? I was on my honeymoon with my wife Teresa. Okay, so Superworm went to the house the snails lived in to smell the house, and guess what it smelled like? Garbage. Slime and garbage. It smelled bad. No squash blossoms here because they smelled sweet. Back to the scene of the crime then. He then found a black grasshopper leg. He knew one thing, that the owner of that leg was Blackhopper the grasshopper. Dun dun dun. So Superworm went to the dark side of the barn, hoping to find the evil insect, and he did. He found Blackhopper working on an experiment with the blossoms, it seems. Stop right there, villain, said Superworm. Oh, why should I? Why should I? Because I just completed my secret plan. Behold. Now this is where we get to Phineas and Ferb style. The Blossominator. With this machine, I can multiply every blossom so everyone can have their own sweet succulent blossoms. Wait, that isn't evil, said Superworm. I just decided to change. Also, my leg fell off when I was getting the blossoms. See you later then. And then said Superworm. He's like, okay, bye. That was a weird, Superworm thought as he walked from the lab in surprise. 5 worm days later. Now that everyone had their own blossoms, they think Blackhopper is their hero. They cried out his name, put out banners, and made a festival for him. What the townsfolk didn't know was that the blossoms were bad. When the sun was about to go down, everyone saw black specks in the sky. Soon everyone was screaming. What Superworm saw when he rushed out of his worm burrow, he saw specks that looked like spores. Only one villain, one fungus could do this. It was the monster mushroom. So that's as far as I got back in 5th grade. And I was just like reading this again, like, this is the same style of writing I would use now. And it's just, it's so good. You know, I should probably. I might want to make a video about this, like actually film something, like not with an actual worm, probably like a gummy worm. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then here's the backstory, like I showed just a little bit ago. Backstory to Superworm, and there's a few plot holes, but well, I'll just read it as it is. Prologue. In a world with no hero life and... Oh, it was supposed to be a comma. In a world with no hero, life was full of crime. But soon after being caught at the lake, a small worm would be ready to take on the challenge. The small worm lived in a container at a bait and tackle shop near Florida. For some reason, a scientist named Dr. Marty came to the tackle shop. When he got in, he thought of the perfect specimen. A worm! A creature like no other, with more than 10 brains and limbs. That was a bit of an issue on my part, but 10 brains, that was a good line. It was amazing. When he went to the area where the worms were in the refrigerator, he brought out the container with the puny worm. Perfect, he thought. He then secretly took the soon-to-be superhero out and put him in his pocket. So basically, he stole a worm because reasons. Chapter 1, Scientist's Lab. Later, when the scientist got home, he put the worm in a box with little air holes. But after leaving, that wouldn't stop... even that couldn't stop the worm, so he escaped. While escaping, here's the good part, he fell into a crack in the floorboards into the lab, where he fell safely into a bowl of water. Just then, a container saying alien contents suddenly spilled onto him, taking him into an upsweep, spilling him and the water out. He almost drowned in the process while trying to stay afloat, and when he got to safety, his worm body started to twitch and morph into a bigger worm with supernatural powers. He was now Superworm, but still, he did not know who he was. Chapter 2, A Caring Man. While upstairs, Dr. Marty heard that same ruckus and ran downstairs hoping to find the problem. And he did. He saw his water bowl upside down with his rare alien mixture gone. What he thought was weird was that a worm was flying in the air. He was wondering, why is there a worm in the air? And he began to speak to the worm. Hello, can you talk, flying worm? Thinking that the alien contents would make it speak. Yes, but who are you? Okay, let's go upstairs and I'll tell you, said Dr. Marty. Soon they were sipping hot cocoa and talking. Okay, just going straight into hot cocoa. And then the worm listened to the doctor with the intent to learn about everything he said. And after that same talk, Marty cared for the worm, giving him a home and food for 60 more years until the doc came up with tuberculosis and had to go to the hospital where he coughed his last words. You have been a great friend to me in the younger years of being a scientist. You are something different. You're important in life, my son. You will protect the world. Superworm. He exhaled his last breath and left the world. It got pretty dark. Okay, then here we go, chapter 3. Superworm's journey. When Superworm saw his dad die in the hospital, he went home only to find his home surrounded by construction workers and machines. I don't even think I'd seen up at this time, but basically I get the dying old man, I get the construction workers, and then, what was the other thing? Oh, and then the random thing that says alien contents. Like, this is definitely cartoon material. Ugh. Okay, so this is chapter 3. And, so Saw's home surrounded by construction workers and machines. And I didn't even write the part that told everyone that he was angry. But I just did this. This is what he was thinking. He needed to do something. So he used heat vision to melt the machines, and so the workers would get confused and find out what happened, then flew up behind each one and knocked them out. Superworm ran into the backyard and put in a special code into the keyboard behind the pine tree and flew into the garage elevator. He found his favorite item and left. His next stop was a farm he and Marty went to once because that was where he was born. Everything he is and will be came from here. This is his home. Chapter 4/Epilogue. A New Home. When Superworm landed in the dirt, he called out to anyone that could hear him. When he got no reply, he thought of making his home on the side of the barn by the gutter's exit point, but not in the area where the water could get him. And finally, his house was made. There he would be forever. So, for little 5th, 6th grade me, that was pretty good. Looking at this now, I might actually want to rewrite it a bit. Like, that would be kind of interesting, seeing like what the second version would be like. But I'll definitely have to finish off Monster Mushroom at some point, because like, whew, it got real spicy in the end there. So yeah, basically that's the video. Me talking about some old comics. I think I actually might have more. Hold on. Oh no, this isn't my work. This is actually one of my friends' works. But yeah, that's the video. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you, as a lot of people will say, in the next video. But I don't know when the next one's going to be, to be honest. Shut up, Bit Defender. I don't know when the next video is going to be, to be honest. But when it is up, I will hopefully see you there. If you want to comment, whatever, like whatever, just do what feels right to you. So yeah, you all have a good rest of your day.